Welcome to another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review. I'm Steve Gamache, and what we're looking at this time is the Konosuke, kind of a departure for them. This is their what they call Keiai Series 7 Gyuto 210mm knife. So this line from them has hand hammered, kind of a traditional style. It has a core steel of owlgami or blue paper number 2 reactive high carbon steel from Hitachi. The heat treat they shoot for is around 62 Rockwell on that. These are done by hand, so that's approximation. The construction is a 3-layer sandwich composed of soft iron cladding that is reactive on either side of that core steel. I've been using this blade so you can see some of the patina building up on the core steel and also the cladding. We'll get a close-up look at that. They've got a kuda-uchi or blacksmith finish on top of that for a little bit of corrosion protection on the blade flats. The weight, dimensions, and thickness will vary on these a little bit from knife to knife since they're handmade, but the weight on this one's about 132 grams or 4.7 ounces. The edge length is typical with Konosuke, is a little undersized compared to the advertised spec as far as the edge goes. So the edges on this one's about 205 millimeter or about 8.1 inches, and the overall length are right about 14 inches with this handle. The spine thickness on this one coming out of the handle above the back of the blade is about 3.1. That could vary a bit. And then we pretty much thin out from that right away and then pretty much hold 2 something all the way down until we hit the grind towards the tip. And we'll get a close-up look, but these are ground really thin right at the tip for high performance. The blade height on this one's about 46 millimeters, so it's pretty good height considering the length of the blade. The handles on these could change a little bit, but right now they're putting on octagonal, what they call key walnut, and the walnut has a nice kind of medium dark warm feel and look to it. The handle circumference on this one's about 74 millimeters or slightly under 3 inches. I measured that about 1 inch from the end. These don't really have any taper to them. They're kind of straight handles as far as thickness goes. Let's get a close-up look at the blade. So again, this one has some patina on it from use. I've been playing with it to get a feel for it. But this is the look, and you can see hand chiseled kanji on the right side of the blade, and the left side of the blade is plain. The kuda-uchi finish is actually pretty smooth. It looks a little bit rough here, but it's kind of a slight, I don't know, nishiji or pear skin type look to it, and then it's fairly smooth to the touch. But you can see the patina kind of collecting there on the reactive carbon steel edge and also the reactive iron, soft iron cladding. And that's pretty normal. You just got to keep these clean and dry in between uses. You don't let them sit wet. Fit and finish is comfortable, so I wouldn't say they're highly polished. They've got kind of a little bit of a rustic feel to them. So the spine has been relieved a bit on the corners as well as the choil, the back of the blade, and the curve in the neck. It's not polished or anything, but it's comfortable. And the out-of-the-box edge on this one was really quite good. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I went ahead and sharpened it, and of course it sharpened up great because it's a good quality owlgami number 2. So it sharpens up excellently and gets really sharp. These are quite thin right at the edge. Good performers. You've got a pretty hard edge where the main grind kicks in, so you can get a little bit of wedging through harder product, but through soft product these really go through exceptionally well, and you can see the tips ground really thin right there at the end. The handle, nothing real special. They feel nice. They're octagonal. They've got a little bit of I guess a more rectangular component to them, so they're thinner and taller versus being a little more rounded in dimension. These could change in the future, so this might not be the final choice if Mark tweaks it a little bit, but that's what's on them right now. Let's take a look at it on a cutting board. This is a fun knife to use. It's almost got kind of a funayuki kind of tip to it. It's pretty cool. Very good for detail work. So here's what our profile looks like on the cutting board. And I personally like the profile on this. It's got just a little bit of flat towards the heel and a gentle belly. Fairly low tip, but I can get about right there before I start digging the tip in. Every knife's going to be a little bit different on the profile depending on how they hammer it. So that's this particular knife. But this knife has I think it's a wonderful profile. It's pretty versatile. They've done a lot with the length that they've got. So you've got a fair amount of flat there towards the back section of the blade and a gentle curve. So it can do pretty well with a variety of techniques. So just an all-around nicely executed blade. So this is a new offering. This is the Konosuke Keiai Series 7 Gyuto 210mm knife.